Little disclaimer up front, I fucked up the audio of the initial recording, so this audio is in voiceover. Don't be confused if it lines up badly or I explain very poorly what's going on. Okay, so let's start the video of the ABIS X Plus with the custom tool and reattention. Yeah, so I begin by explaining that it's indeed an ABIS X Plus core, or not even the core, yeah, and it's fully stock. The original key works, and you can see it's turned to about 45 degrees out of the vertical plane is the open position of the key. I now hastily insert my tool before showing it to the camera, which was a small mistake. As you can see, I basically copied the shape of the tip of the key in stainless, and the rest is basically a McSlappy clone with wooden handles, which, as you can see, are kind of unfinished because I was too lazy to take the saw marks off. Yeah, it's all 304 stainless and wood basically. Yeah, so I insert it and I turn up to the tension point. That's about 90 degrees. And sadly, the only thing you would see with the opening is that back handle starts turning further. I start by looking for a binder, basically moving to a disk, seeing how easily it moves, and because I have rotated it during that, I need to spin it a lot to move between disks. That's why you see a shit ton of movement on that front thing. That's probably a more elegant way to do it, but I hadn't figured that out yet. Actually, it takes a fair while for me to pick it because I'm really bad at picking disk detainer. This is my first disk detainer lock, and yeah, basically it's really weird. The feedback is super different from Pentumbler, especially because the one I have is so worn out that it doesn't click at all, and the disks are really heavy to turn. You need a fair bit of force. Can also see that I'm using fairly heavy tension. Yeah, my index finger there is like slightly whitening because of the pressure. And yeah, but the front thing runs fairly cleanly, especially between the disks. There's almost no friction, which is really cool. It's really the advantage of doing it in stainless, so you can make it super thin. You can see I tried putting decoding marks on, but it was so inaccurate. I probably have to print it in Inkscape or something and put it on there on a paper print. Yeah, I think at this point I'm really confused about one disk because these X Pluses have two false gates in front of every true gate. So it's sometimes really hard to tell where you are, in the first, second false gate, or are you in the true gate. Yeah. It's really funny to just see me basically spin in the same position for 5 minutes. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, now I'm moving to the front because at the back I didn't really feel like there was much more to do. Everything felt set. Or I guess in front it felt like everything was set, and there's the turn. Bam. Now, because I have lots of adrenaline, I basically show the additional 90-degree turn over and over again, even though that doesn't really show anything. And I grab to the back and feel if the actuator is in the open position, which it is, but I was too stupid to show you. Yeah. And now, instead of taking it out of the vise and showing it, I start turning all the disks back to the 0 position, so the disk locker disengages. So the disk locker engages, the key retention disengages, and I can pull out my tool. That's sadly why I can't take the core out in the open position. The disk locker also keeps the core in. Disengaged disk locker keeps the core in, so I can't. Yeah, that's what I tried to say. Yeah, I pull the tool out, and the core comes out with it, which was why I needed to be really careful not to not to do it too fast, so it would go out of frame. Yeah, that's the actuator. I was really annoyed because what I wanted to do was, once I finished gutting, show that the actuator was in the open position. But in retrospect, that wouldn't have worked anyway, because I needed to close it to pull it out. Yeah, I basically complain about these springs, because you need to take them off, you need to go under them from this side, which usually bends them a bit, so you need to bend them back before putting them back on. And you can also see there's only one of these springs on there, because the other one is in my high fleece carpet, which sucks, but I really couldn't find it. But yeah, it still works. It still holds the core together with one spring. I sometimes put a piece of tape on the other side, but I thought some like unexplained tape inside of the core would probably not help my belting chances. Yeah, here I'm basically start the gutting. I showed the bottom disc, and now the like water disc that basically forms the key retention part, like makes reattentioning on this thing really annoying, and basically forces you to use a special tool for retentioning, or like do a really weird thing where you like disengage the disc locker with minimal rotation and then start reattention picking, and then you can't pull out your tool again. It's really weird. I basically show that it can't rotate in that thing when you have zero cut, 6 cut everywhere. So you can't use a snugly fitting tool to rotate all the discs to the far right, or if you do, you can't stick your reattentioner back in. Now start flipping over all the discs and cleverly not remembering in what order they are, so that reassembly, which is luckily not on camera, will take forever, because I need to reverse engineer what order the discs are in. Oh no, I actually stacked them. I guess I knocked them over at some point while being annoyed at myself for not showing the actuator. I'm not sure if you can see the fault skates on these discs, because yeah, I basically filmed really sloppily. Wow, I suck. Why do people watch these? And by that I mean Urban Horror, you have to watch these. Life sucks for you, man. Really sorry. Yeah. Basically put the last two discs on the stack at once. And I get really excited. I show the bitting again. You can see there's like 3 6 cuts. One is in the front, where there's always a 6 cut, and then there's an additional one on the shaft of the key. And yeah, up to that point, the part you can see right now, that's basically identical for all X+ keys, which made this approach with a clone tip, including 2 discs, really efficient. Thanks. Thanks for watching. I think this won't qualify as a belt, but like, might as well try, right? Okay.